Mike, I'll call it. You know, I was at a Tampa roundup in '99, and I talked to this guy. Evidently, that guy was there that wrote that story, that Paul guy. And talked to him, and he said he had dinner with the cats the night before. I thought, I'm going to listen to this guy. And he said they were talking about it, and it's funny because 5 different people in here talked about problems with their wives or significant others, and that was the impetus for that statement in his story. He was having some problems with his wife. He was having to accept it. And that was exactly the fact. And another thing he talked about was that he wishes he hadn't said it because he felt like the guy could have been lying. He might not have had dinner, but he seemed credible. I mean, we were all standing around him, and he was legit. And he said that he wished he hadn't said it because he felt that the fellowship by this time had taken what he said in a light the way he didn't mean it. Of course, he went down the slight road of, you can't just sit there and just accept things. Acceptance is the springboard to something else, right? I mean, our book talks about to face and be rid of the things that we saw were objectionable. So the idea of something being objectionable or unacceptable is the impetus of this entire program. I find something in my life that is unacceptable. I come here to find out the tools necessary to change it. So the facing is the accepting, obviously. The being rid of is what comes after. To me, the statement we also hear, God's not going to put more on us than we can handle. Not in the book, but it seems true, right? But the fact of the matter is, again, the real reality of it is that God puts more on me than I can handle, so I'll turn to Him. Because the fact that I'm sitting in this chair proves that more was put on me than I could handle. So I came and turned to God to help me handle it. So, we say God doesn't test us. I mean, there's another book that says certainly don't test Him. But there is no testimony without a test. And I've heard some testimonies today that make me feel like my problems that I thought I came in here with ain't shit. I mean, I just got killed on my Halo game before I got here. I was bugging hard on it, and I was thinking, I'm trying to go for a world record. I mean, so what? I mean, I've heard some serious shit in here. I mean, I think I'll go home and just break the remote, and just forget the whole thing because my life has been put in perspective once again. So, I'm not saying that I haven't felt like I've been in Dr. Paul's place with that story. Maybe it was with a significant other, but and it's funny that the newcomers have already said my frame of mind on it. You can't just sit and say everything's fucking cool and do nothing. I mean, Paul knew that when he wrote it. It seems obvious to me, but I've seen meetings battle over that. You got your 2 camps, right? And the battle rages. But this is one of the first times I've seen a meeting where there's general consensus and agreement where I accept something for what it is. Now what can we do about it? I've felt that there's been general consensus. I've been in meetings where there were no consensus. You left more confused than when you got there. I feel more resolute than when I got here, that I understand why he wrote it. I understand the propensity of alcoholics in the fellowship to take his statement of acceptance to mean something he didn't intend. But if I can put the brain God gave me to use, and our book talks about it, God gave us brains to use, it seems logical that before I can do anything about anything, I've got to be in reality and say, this is actually happening. I mean, the major part of my disease, was it not that I was in delusion that it really wasn't there? I mean, that's what the book says. I was in delusion. It really wasn't there. I was wanting to be like these other people, but I wasn't in reality. So if I get in reality and see that it really is here and it's happening, okay, that's a fact. Now the next step is the being rid of. Now maybe that means I can't change somebody, but maybe that means, like you said, I mean, I got to be careful of my new associations in here because most people, my observation, are one offer away from oblivion. So I got to be careful who I'm around because I need accountability partners, not bullshit co-signers, right? Somebody that'll tell me the truth, what I need to hear, not necessarily what I want to hear. Because even after this long, my mind can come up with some self-centered justifications that would boggle the mind. But if I've got people around me that'll tell me the truth, it gets me on track. Uncomfortable truth sometimes. And I've been accused of saying uncomfortable truths in and out of meetings. Mike, you don't have to be so harsh. You could co-sign me a little bit, you know. But life's too short to compromise what you stand for. So somebody will like you. You know, because this whole program is based on telling the hard truth. And it took somebody telling me the hard truth. Mike, I don't think you're going to make it. I don't think you have what it takes, buddy. I was like, I'll show you. And I've been trying to show ever since. And it's not just talking about it in here. Because we can all sing it good for an hour. But it's bringing it out there. And hopefully the two can parallel each other more often than not, where I can bring what I sing, you know. And that's a daily attempt. If I stop doing this thing, I'm guaranteed to fall back into oblivion. And I'll be insane first. But even though I don't think I need a meeting today, and I probably don't need but one meeting a week. I go to 14 because I don't know which one that is. I heard a man, Happy Jack, said that a long time ago. So I'm well aware of my propensity to get deluded, and I keep coming here even when I don't think I need to pay those premiums for that insurance when there's not a scratch on my car. Because in that wet-ass hour, whether it's life or drink or no, I want to be in good hands when I call that 1-800 number. And we know what we're talking about. I don't want to be all alone again. And I've had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, and I'll pass it.